bringing to us the live reading of the late Queen Regent's will, in which she said that her oldest son, Misuzulu, is to become the new king. After that, of course, there was unhappiness from some parts, moments of extreme tension. The heir designate was whisked away from her royal palace, but it seems tensions have now calmed and there's very much a celebratory air. But I'd like to speak now to the late King's speech writer, Professor Otty Nxumalo, who comes to us from Durban. Professor, I just first of all want to thank you so much. I know that you've waited for a really long time, but it's been one of those evenings where things have dramatically developed. I know that you have been watching what has been happening. You obviously knew the King extremely well. The fact that Misuzulu has been named as his heir, does that seem to you the right thing, what he would have wanted? Does it feel that this is all happening as it should be?
Oh, thank you very much, and thank you for the invitation. And I want to say greetings to the listeners. Yes, I was quite close to His Majesty, and from his mother's side, I'm part of that home in Nxumalo and Rwanda, and I was present at the wedding of His Majesty, because I'm quite advanced now. I knew the King's father. I will not be judgmental and talk about right or wrong, but I'll make just observations. Initially, remarking that it's been time of challenge first. It's the first time that we have His Majesty us on, and soon after one of the queens. Something which is a challenge and which is a little shocking to the nation, the marriage of two cultures. Like there wasn't a will in the present form. So the reading of the will is an experience to the nation or to the royal house. Preparations were made, or announcement made, but a remark which was made by the Prime Minister in as late as this morning's paper was that people should not be over anxious and presumptuous about who the successor is going to be, because we are still mourning. The usual procedure is that there is no discussion of the successor in the time of mourning. Mourning can take 3 months, 6 months, or 1 year. There is a regent who is a seat. Our dilemma this time is that the regent also passed on. But I must say that it's been a bit of a challenge mentally, I think, and psychologically to people to have this gathering and have a will made by the lawyers, and then categorically having His Majesty nominated.
You know, you're reminding us, Professor, sorry to jump in, you are reminding us, of course, that the Zulu nation is still mourning the King. He died only on the 12th of March. The Queen herself then passed away on the 29th of April. And this evening, of course, we're hearing that Misuzulu will be the new king. Do you think that it was a good idea? Do you think it is likely to help quell any tension around the new king? That this matter has been so transparent, that it has been done before television cameras, read out loud. Do you think that was perhaps a wise move to deal with any tension?
Well, as I said, I'm not going to be judgmental, and I won't be evaluating anything, but I just want to point out that what could be a shock or mentally taxing, coming to the fact that this had been televised. I think it's a new experience for people.
Absolutely.
In the royal household and amongst the African, amongst the Zulus, that the nomination of a king should be televised. There must be reasons, and we know that culture, of course, is dynamic and grows. So whoever agreed on that and discussed it, we must have had more reasons in favor of it than not in favor of it, because it doesn't follow that because something has not been done before, it will never be done. But it's also a fact that something is done for the first time.
Yeah.
People do get a shock.
You're quite right, Professor. And Professor, I'm just going to jump in there and say thank you so much for your time and for your insight. Speechwriter Professor Otty Nxumalo, just talking to us and reflecting on how unprecedented this evening has been. Let us know